Most people think they are tired because life is difficult. They think stress is normal. They think waking up exhausted every morning is simply part of becoming an adult. And after enough years, they stop questioning it completely. They drink more coffee. They sleep with the television on because silence feels uncomfortable now. They scroll endlessly at night trying to escape their own thoughts. And slowly, without realizing it, they begin losing connection with themselves. But amore, this is not how the human body was meant to live. The body was not designed for constant noise, constant pressure, constant stimulation. The human nervous system was created for rhythm, for balance, for seasons, for rest after effort. But modern life never allows rest anymore. Even when people stop working, their mind continues racing. Even when they lie in bed at night, the body still feels danger. And this is why so many people wake up already tired before the day has even begun. Most people do not realize this because modern exhaustion happens slowly. It does not arrive all at once. It arrives quietly. First, your sleep becomes lighter. Then your patience becomes shorter. Then your stomach begins feeling swollen after meals. Then your energy disappears. Then your thoughts become heavier. Then one day you wake up and realize you no longer feel like yourself anymore. And this is where things become dangerous. Because once people normalize suffering, they stop searching for the cause. They begin believing anxiety is personality. They begin believing exhaustion is aging. They begin believing burnout is success. But many times the body is not failing. The body is begging for help. And the body always whispers before it screams. Your headaches were whispers. Your bloating was a whisper. Your anxiety was a whisper. Your constant fatigue was a whisper. Even the emotional numbness so many people feel today, that too was a whisper. But modern life trains people to ignore these signals until the body finally forces them to stop. This is why so many people now feel disconnected from themselves. They are overstimulated, overworked, emotionally exhausted, and spiritually empty all at the same time. Their body is carrying stress. It was never designed to hold for this long. You see, many years ago, life moved differently. People woke up with sunlight. They sat together during meals. They walked more slowly. Even evenings felt calmer. The nervous system had time to settle. The body had time to recover. Today, everything moves too fast. People eat while looking at screens. They think while trying to sleep. They answer messages while speaking to family. The human mind never fully rests anymore. And the body remembers this. Oh yes, the body remembers everything. Every sleepless night, every moment of anxiety, every heartbreak you never processed. Every year you forced yourself to continue while completely exhausted inside. The body stores all of it quietly, and over time that burden begins showing itself physically. This is why inflammation has become so common now. Not only physical inflammation, emotional inflammation too. Irritation, restlessness, mental exhaustion. The nervous system becomes overwhelmed, and eventually people lose their ability to feel calm naturally. And this changes the entire conversation about health, because many people believe healing only comes from diets, pills, or supplements. But true healing is deeper than this. A body living in constant stress cannot heal properly. A nervous system trapped in survival mode cannot fully recover, no matter how healthy the food is. And this is what ancient wisdom understood long before modern wellness trends existed. The body is deeply connected to the mind. The mind is deeply connected to the environment. And the environment shapes the nervous system every single day. That is why peaceful places feel healing immediately. Have you ever noticed this? When people spend time near the ocean, in the mountains, or even quietly in nature, something inside them softens. Their breathing changes, their shoulders relax, their thoughts become quieter. This happens because the nervous system finally feels safe enough to stop fighting. Modern life keeps the body in a constant state of alertness. Notifications, news pressure, comparison, endless stimulation. The nervous system never receives the signal that the danger has passed. And after enough years, the body becomes exhausted from carrying this invisible weight every day. Many people today are not only physically tired, they are emotionally overloaded, spiritually disconnected, mentally inflamed, and deeply lonely even when surrounded by people, because modern life gives people constant connection but very little real presence. And this is why so many people secretly feel empty now. Not because they are weak, not because they are lazy, because they are overwhelmed in ways the human body was never designed to handle. But here is what most people do not realize. The body wants to heal, even now, even after years of stress, even after years of neglect. The body constantly tries to return to balance. Every night while you sleep, the body repairs itself. Every deep breath sends signals of safety through the nervous system. Every moment of peace becomes medicine for the body in ways science is only beginning to fully understand. And this is why healing begins not with punishment, but with listening. Modern culture teaches people to attack themselves constantly. Punishing workouts, extreme diets, obsession with productivity, endless self-criticism. But healing cannot grow in an environment of self-hatred. The body responds far better to consistency, calmness, nourishment, and safety than to force. Ancient cultures understood rhythm. They respected rituals because rituals regulate the nervous system. Morning tea, quiet walks, cooking slowly, eating without distraction, sitting outside at sunset. These small moments seem insignificant to modern people, but they create emotional stability that the body desperately needs. Today, many people wake up and immediately consume stress. Before water, before sunlight, before silence. They open their phone and instantly fill the nervous system with anxiety, news, emails, problems, comparisons, and then they wonder why they feel mentally exhausted before the day has even fully started. But the nervous system absorbs everything around it. This is why environment matters more than people think. The music you hear, the conversations around you, the pace of your life, the amount of silence you allow yourself, even the energy inside your home affects the body. And this is something modern wellness rarely talks about because it cannot be sold easily. People search for miracle supplements while living in environments that keep their nervous system inflamed every single day. And eventually the body begins adapting to survival instead of peace. This is why so many people feel uncomfortable when life finally becomes quiet. They are so accustomed to chaos that calmness feels unfamiliar. Silence feels strange. Rest feels undeserved. Their nervous system has forgotten what safety feels like, but the body can remember slowly, gently, one peaceful habit at a time. This is why small daily rituals become powerful. Morning sunlight resets the body. Slow breathing calms the nervous system. Homemade meals nourish more than hunger. Sleep before midnight changes hormone balance dramatically. Time in nature lowers stress hormones naturally. Human connection heals the emotional body in ways modern medicine cannot replace. And this is where modern people often misunderstand healing completely. Healing is not becoming a different person. Healing is returning to yourself, returning to the version of yourself that existed before exhaustion took over your life, Before anxiety became constant, before survival mode became your normal state. And many people cry when they finally begin healing because they realize how long they have been disconnected from themselves. The modern world teaches people to ignore intuition, ignore fatigue, ignore emotional pain, ignore stress signals, continue producing, continue performing, continue pushing, but the body always keeps score. And eventually it demands attention, sometimes through burnout, sometimes through illness, sometimes through emotional collapse, sometimes through deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix. And this is why emotional health matters just as much as physical health. Unspoken grief affects the body. Loneliness affects the body. Chronic resentment affects the body. Fear affects digestion. Anxiety affects hormones. Stress affects inflammation. The mind and body are not separate systems. They are deeply connected. And this is why peace becomes medicine, real peace, not distraction, not temporary escape, but genuine internal calm. This is also why older generations often seemed more emotionally grounded. Life was not easier for them. They experienced hardship too, but they still had rhythms modern people lost. Slower evenings, more face-to-face conversations, more connection to food, seasons, family, and nature. Their nervous system had moments of recovery built naturally into daily life. Now people consume information every waking hour. The brain never fully stops processing. The nervous system never fully rests. Even moments of silence are filled with scrolling. And little by little, the spirit becomes exhausted. This is why so many people secretly fantasize about simpler lives now. Gardening, cooking, quiet homes, slow mornings, nature, simplicity. The soul is craving balance again. Not luxury, not perfection, balance. And this changes everything because once people stop chasing endless stimulation, they begin hearing themselves again. Their intuition returns, their sleep deepens, their digestion improves, their thoughts become clearer, their emotions soften. Their body finally receives permission to leave survival mode. And this transformation does not happen overnight. Real healing is quiet, slow, gentle. It happens in small moments repeated consistently. A peaceful morning, a nourishing meal, better sleep, less noise, more sunlight, more presence, more stillness. The body responds to these things more powerfully than people realize. And over time, something beautiful begins happening. The exhaustion lifts slowly. The nervous system softens. The eyes regain light again. The mind becomes less heavy. And people begin feeling alive again instead of merely functional. Because there is a difference between surviving and living. Modern life has taught many people how to survive. But very few people remember how to truly live anymore. To sit peacefully without distraction, to eat slowly, to laugh fully, to rest without guilt, to exist without constantly performing. And maybe this is why so many people today feel emotionally lost. Because the world became obsessed with productivity, but forgot about peace, forgot about softness, forgot about the human soul. But ancient wisdom never forgot. Ancient wisdom understood that the body heals in calm environments, that emotional peace matters, that rest is not laziness, that silence is necessary, that balance is health. And perhaps this is why so many people feel drawn towards slower lifestyles now. Their body is searching for something modern life removed: stillness, presence, connection, safety. And maybe the most important thing to understand is this: you do not need to completely escape the modern world to heal, but you do need moments where your nervous system feels protected from it, moments where your body can finally breathe again, moments where your mind is not under attack from endless stimulation, moments where you remember you are human, not a machine. Because healing begins the moment the body feels safe enough to stop fighting. And once this happens, everything begins changing slowly. The sleep improves, the anxiety softens, the body feels lighter, the mind becomes clearer, and life no longer feels like a constant emergency. So tonight, before you sleep, turn everything off for a few minutes. Sit quietly, listen to your breathing, let your nervous system experience silence again, and ask yourself honestly, when was the last time I truly felt calm? Because the answer to that question may explain more about your health than you realize.